Hello students, let us continue with our discussion on sensors and transducers. Up till now, we have classified sensors, we have seen the position sensors, and among them we have very briefly studied the proximity sensors as the strain sensor, LVDT, then we studied a specific type of transducer. Now, moving forward, in proximity sensors, that is a sensor which is utilized to study displacement or to measure displacement or position, one of the sensor is eddy current proximity sensor. So in this figure in front of you, you can see that we are having eddy current proximity sensor. It is the schematic of inductive proximity sensor. Now let us look at its construction. The eddy current proximity sensor consists of an alternating, it comprises of a coil. So this is a coil. Now it comprises of a coil, an oscillator. So you can see that we have an oscillating circuit. So this is our oscillating circuit, LC oscillating circuit, and it also consists of an amplitude detecting circuit and an output circuit. So we can sum up with the thing that the whole of the eddy current proximity sensor consists of a coil, an oscillating circuit, an amplitude detecting circuit, and an output circuit. Now, an eddy current proximity sensors are basically used to detect non-magnetic but conductive materials. They are used to detect non-magnetic materials, but the material should be conductible. These type of sensors comprise of a coil. So we discussed that this is the coil. It comprises of a coil, an oscillator, a detector, that is amplitude detecting circuit, and an output device, or we also refer to it as a triggering circuit. We can see all this in the given figure. The construction is such that an eddy current proximity switch is shown. Now suppose that we have an object, and this object is non-magnetic but conductive material. So this target one, this target is nothing but your object, and remember this object is a non-magnetic but a conductive one. Now we know that we have a coil. This is your coil, and when an alternating current is passed through this coil, an alternative magnetic field is generated, right? So in this coil, when we will pass current, some alternative magnetic field will be generated, and if the metal which is a non-magnetic one comes in the close proximity of the coil, suppose that due to the due to the alternating current, some magnetic field is generated. So this is your magnetic field, and if an object is brought in the vicinity of its field, in the area of that magnetic field, in that case what happens, the eddy currents are induced in the object due to magnetic field, right? So some eddy currents, since eddy currents are generated over here, these eddy currents will be induced in the object which comes in contact of the magnetic field, and these eddy currents create their own magnetic field which distorts the magnetic field, right? So what we have seen, that in case some current is passed through the coil, then they will create magnetic field, and in case some object is brought in the vicinity of this magnetic field, then this magnetic field will be induced in those objects, and they will create their own magnetic field. Now Due to this created magnetic field, the magnetic field of the alternating current, so some magnetic field will also be get generated inside the target, and this generated magnetic field will distort the original magnetic field, and as a result of this, impedance of the coil changes, and so the amplitude of alternating current, right? So what happens? Due to this, the amplitude of the alternating current changes, and this change in amplitude is triggered at some predetermined level of change in current. So this change in alternating current is measured, right? So this is all the working principle of an eddy current proximity sensor, right? So let us sum up this all working in very short, that an eddy current proximity sensor, what does it consist of? It consists of a coil, an oscillating circuit, an amplitude detecting circuit, and an output circuit. And when an electric current is passed through the coil, they will generate some magnetic field, and if an object is brought within the vicinity of this magnetic field, then some magnetic field will get induced in that object. Now this induced magnetic field will distort the original magnetic field which were produced in the coil, and this distortion will change the amplitude of alternating current, and this change in amplitude of alternating current is calibrated to measure the proximity, right? So any change in the alternating current will show that some object has came in the vicinity, and that is what it actually detects. So this was all about the working of eddy current proximity sensor, right? So the slide gives all the working. This all we have already discussed. Now moving forward, we can say that the eddy current sensors are inexpensive one. They are very cheaper. They are available in small size. They are highly reliable and have high sensitivity for small displacements, and hence they find applications in various fields. Some of the applications of eddy current proximity sensors are automation, where precise location is required. Then these type of sensors are also utilized in machine tool monitoring. Again, they can be utilized in final assembly of precision equipments such as disk drives. They are also used in measuring the dynamics of continuously moving target such as vibrational elements. They are used to drive shaft monitoring, and finally they are also utilized for vibration measurements. So we have seen the construction and the principle of working of eddy current proximity sensors. Let us move forward and discuss one more proximity sensor, that is an inductive proximity sensor. Now again, the inductive proximity sensor works very exactly to the previous one, that was our eddy current proximity sensors. Now, an inductive proximity sensors, again when we talk about the construction of inductive proximity sensor, that is this type of sensors, it consists of again all those things which an eddy current proximity sensor had. It consists of a coil. So this is a coil where some alternating current will be passed and some magnetic field will be produced. Then again it consists of an oscillating circuit. It consists of the amplitude, it consists of the amplitude detecting circuit, and finally an triggering circuit, that is switching amplifier, right? So we can say that its whole construction is very much similar to eddy current proximity sensors. Now let's talk about its working. Inductive proximity sensors, these type of sensors are basically used for detection of metallic objects, right? In case of eddy current sensor, the previous sensor, no, this sensor, eddy current sensors, they were basically used for detecting a non-magnetic but a conductive material, whereas the inductive proximity sensors are basically used for detection of metallic objects, right? So these are used for detecting metallic objects. Now this type of sensors has 4 components, and those components are the coil, oscillator, again detection circuit, and the output circuit, very similar to the previous one, that is eddy current proximity sensor. Now let us talk about its working. An alternating current is supplied to the coil, and this alternating current will generate a magnetic field, right? That is what exactly we saw in the previous sensor, right? When we supply an electric current to the coil, this current will produce magnetic field, and again when some metallic object comes in the vicinity of this magnetic field, say we have an object, this red color shown is nothing but an object, and this object, when this object is brought in vicinity of the magnetic field, then again some magnetic field will be induced in the object, and this will induce some changes in the alternating current, right? And this change in alternating current is continuously monitored by a circuit which triggers a switch when a preset value of inductance changes occurred, right? So we can say that an inductive proximity sensors act very similar to an eddy current sensors. Let us talk something about application of inductive proximity sensors. We can say that an inductive proximity sensors find a wide variety of application in industrial automation, that is counting of products during production of or transfer. Then they can be utilized for security purpose, that is to detect metal objects, arms, landmines, etc. So we have seen an eddy current proximity sensor and an inductive proximity sensor. Let us move forward and see another type of sensor, that is optical encoder. Now the figure we have, the slide in front of you shows an optical encoder. What basically we use optical encoder for is to provide digital output as a result of linear or angular displacement. Whenever there is a linear or angular displacement, that displacement will be measured and a digital output will be provided. That is where an optical encoder is utilized. They are widely used in servo motors to measure the rotation of the shaft, that means angular displacement, right? Let us see the construction of an optical encoder. It comprises of a disc. So you can see that this is a disc, right? Now, so we can say that this is the same component. So it comprises of a disc with 3 concentric tracks of equally spaced holes, right? So some holes are cut, and these holes are laid in tracks, in circular tracks, which are equally spaced, right? So we have one track, outer periphery, and they are placed equally, right? We have another concentrically placed these tracks and the inner one, right? So it comprises of a disc with 3 concentric tracks. The first one inner concentric, middle concentric one, and the outer outer circular track. So it consists of 3. It comprises of a disc with 3 concentric tracks of equally spaced holes. 3 light sensors are employed to detect the light passing through the holes. We have these light sensors, and light sensors are placed in such a way that if a light passes through these holes, these light sensors will detect the light, right? So if a light passes from the outer track, it will be traced by this sensor. Again, if the light passes through the middle track, it will be sensed by this one, and if it passes from the middle inner track, it will be sensed by another light sensor. Now these sensors produce electric pulses which gives the angular displacement of the mechanical element, that is the shaft on which optical encoder is mounted, right? What does these light sensors do? They sense the light emitted through those holes and they generate electric pulses, and these pulses are measured, which actually gives the total displacement or the total rotations, and in terms of angles or in terms of total rotations of the shaft on which the optical encoder is mounted, right? Now talking about the inner track has just one hole, this track, right? The inner track, this inner track, the inner track has just one hole which is used to locate the home position of the disc, right? So this inner track is only used to locate the home position. The holes on the middle track, the holes on the middle track offset from the holes of the outer track by 1/2 of the width of the hole. This arrangement provides the direction of rotation to be determined. Now when the disc rotates in clockwise direction, the pulses in the outer track lead those in the inner in counterclockwise direction. They lag behind, right? So this type of arrangement will produces this working, and the resolution can be determined by number of holes on the disc. With 100 holes in one revolution, the resolution would be 360 by 100, that is 3.6 degrees. So all these things I have provided on the slides, that if there are 100 holes, then we can say that the resolution will be 360 degree by 100, that is 3.6 degrees. The minimum angular displacement which it can measure is 3.6 degrees, right? So dear students, we have seen how an optical encoder works, right now? So we can sum up with the thing that in an optical encoder we have 3 rings. We talk it as outer track, middle track and inner track. Now these tracks are made up of holes. Some lights are passed through these holes, and those lights are sensed by some light sensors, and these light sensors sense the light and will generate some pulses, and these pulses will be in digital form. So actually what we are doing, by using an encoder, we stick these encoders to the shafts where we have to mount, whose angular displacement we have to measure, and finally we generate electrical pulses. So dear students, up till now we have studied some form of sensors and transducers, and these sensors are nothing but the proximity sensors. We started with strain gauge, we studied potentiometer, then we moved to final sensor as an optical sensor. We have to study some more types of sensors which we will study in the coming lectures. So till then, take care and have a good day. Thank you.